than you. And
Oh, that was one of the biggest things that deterred me from the industry, because when I first stepped in it, I ran into all of these egos. It's like, I don't want to be like that.
yeah,
I do not want to look like that.
yeah.
And
yeah.
you find yourself knowing, and I'm one of those type of cats. It's like,
Cats, I love that.
I can look at you, and if I see something and I say, well, I'll make sure when I get that age, I'm doing it.
Yes,
Not
yes.
that cat out there just, taking advantage of people, belittling people, looking
Yes.
down on people, because I had to go within a deep search within myself. Now, they did distract me when I was quite young.
But that happens because that's part of our learning and our growth. I mean, I was distracted a couple of times, but I knew there was something deep within me that didn't allow a distraction to take me so far. Because my spirit would always say, you do not need to be in those circles, you need to be here. And I had to really obey, because it was like, wow, this is kind of painful, I'm not listening.
Right. And sometimes we have very little choice, and I'll go back to pretty much, I was a little church kid.
Okay.
I started out singing in church, and I had an old soul. I've always had an old soul. And I grew up in a house where my older siblings played all the Motown, and I was in a city where there weren't any black radio stations. So my biggest mentor at the time was, before I got to the Motown, was Elvis Presley.
Okay.
Because that's all I saw. They were cramming it down us, And I was like, well, I want to be like that guy.
Yes.
I want to get in the movies. I want to sing in the movies, and but I didn't realize, they weren't accepting people of color in that area. Very few people. Eventually, I saw Nat King Cole start his show and all of that. But that's one out of many, But that was my little dream. And then in the 6th grade, one of my white teachers saw something in me. He was a trumpet player. He was a big band jazz player.
Big man, I love big
And
band.
he said, I'm going to help you youth. And he bought the instruments himself. Asked these individuals what they wanted to play. And I said, trumpet, And he went out and invested his own money. Eventually, I paid him that money back for that trumpet. That was the thing for our parents. We'd get it back somewhere. And I still have that trumpet to today.
Oh, wow.
And in the 6th grade, 11 years old, that's where my musical career for getting away from the singing in church, because there's a little parallel there. What I was singing, because of the Motown influence and the Elvis influence, when they would be in the church singing, some glad morning when this life is over, I'll fly away. See, I put that Motown twist on it. Some glad morning when this life is over. And the preacher would say, you can't do that in
Got to
here.
silence, try to
Right.
silence yourself,
It
yes.
was like, you can't do that. It hadn't come to that point yet.
Yeah.
And I was like, but that was I wasn't imitating anybody. That was just
you.
me, that
Yes.
raw in me. And I was like, well, why not? My mom used to laugh, because he's like, that's just the way he is.
Yeah.
But we lived right across the street from the church, and my pastor knew my family. It was 12 of us, 12 kids. And I was like...
Oh, sorry. By the way, this is Lloyd G Williams.
Absolutely.
Because it was just really nice how we naturally sort of moved into this conversation. But so you guys are thinking, well, who's she talking to? This is Lloyd G Williams, and he sang with the Undisputed Truth. And, he's an artist in his own right. So we're just going to keep unraveling and unpeeling this journey of his. So continue. I just needed to introduce you.
Absolutely. So after learning that, I couldn't sing that way in church. I conformed to, and it helped me a lot. Again, because again, I've been known to, I've been told I have raw talent. Didn't know what that was when I was quite young. I thought there was something wrong with me. It's raw. It's not refined. And during that period, I can go and build out a tune just from ear, and a lot of folks would say, well, you're doing it wrong. You're not breathing right.
Okay.
You're not, your technique is not right. But I was comfortable with it and everything.
It worked for you.
It worked for me.
Yeah.
So again, after going through that period, I picked up my trumpet, And I continued to play trumpet all the way up until my sophomore year in junior college. You know, and amazingly enough, I was at Los Angeles City College, and I was doing a tribute to Paul Robeson. And a young lady came up to me, and she says, "Wow, I love your voice." And I was like, "Thank you, as always. You know, I'm well-mannered and all that, being that spiritual kid." And she made me a proposition. She said, because I'm going to speed up her head and things. She says, "Well, if you take me out to dinner, and whatever, whatever.
Okay.
I'll introduce you to my family in there in the record industry with Motown." And I was like, "Okay, yeah, okay." Now, I'll take you back before I made that step with her. While I was in high school, I was the one that was singing, doing all the talent shows, putting bands together, putting acts together, putting groups together, because I started that at quite a young age, and was pretty popular around town, quite popular. But I never took it any further, other than my musical director, who turns out to be the father of the great Broadway singer now, Audra McDonald.
Okay.
That's her dad. He took me under his wing. He was my track coach and the musical director at the school. And, you know, and I was playing trumpet for him. He was like, you know, we did a couple of things by War and a couple of other groups. He was like, "Someone take this lead," and I took